Okay, fam, Palantir is continuing to explode day in and day out. Dan Ives just dropped a bombshell on Palantir and AI software. Let's take a listen to what he had to say. Let's strap in. We got a banger here for you. Don't worry about subscribing. Tapping the like button or looking for the coaching and Discord link. We'll talk about that later on. Let's dive into Palantir and listen to what Dan Ives had to say.
All right, let's start off. You're going to actually give us the word of the day today. What is it and why?
Fire. Because I think this is a tech market that's going to be on fire, not just for going into the end of the year this week, but what I believe right now, this AI revolution, it's hitting its next phase. But we're in a much different situation today relative to, I think, what we're seeing from a demand perspective. That tightening environment that really actually was a big hurdle in terms of software, we're seeing the opposite of it because of where this AI revolution plays. So I think even though you could have some currency headwinds, it is not getting in the way of what I believe is we're going to be talking about NASDAQ 20,000. And I believe in the next 2 years, NASDAQ 25,000 is something that we'll be talking about. I think in 2025, that's going to be the key. You look at Elastic, Snowflake, names like MongoDB, they're the ones now that follow names like Palantir in terms of the software, the use cases. I believe the software AI age is now here. 2025, that's going to be front and center. That's why we upgrade those names, because this is just the start of what I view. 9:30, 10 p.m. is the AI revolution. We're talking about $2 trillion of AI CapEx. Now software, they were on the velvet ropes behind NVIDIA, Microsoft, the hyperscalers. Software is like, let us into the party. Party's here.
The party's here, okay. I'm going to get to our mystery chart. It was Palantir. So Palantir, having a huge year so far, and you just raised your price target on Palantir. So the street's at about 37 bucks. You're at 75 bucks. This stock's had a big run up. What's going to continue to move this higher?
Look, and the haters will continue to hate, as we know, in terms of the bears on Palantir. They are still underestimating when it comes to the software, the use cases. There's no product out there that matches what I believe what Karp and the team have done at AIP. So I think the enterprise piece, we're talking about something that could ultimately be billions of revenue. So when you actually look at what this means, $75, be like, oh, it's expensive. I look out 3-4 years from now, could Palantir be the next Oracle, the next Salesforce, the next SAP? That's what I think we're talking about. And that's why, look, the bears will come out of hibernation, talk about valuation. Just to start what I view for the messy of AI.
So you heard what Dan Ives had to say about Palantir and Snowflake, as well as the overall AI sector and software, predicting that Palantir is going to run and be stronger in 2025 and very well could be the next Oracle in the next few years. Also, Snowflake wasn't doing too well, but now he's upgraded Snowflake due to the market doing a lot better. But I believe it has a lot to do with Palantir kind of paving the way in the AI software space. With all the exponential growth Palantir's had with government contracts and commercial contracts, Dan Ives and Wedbush have upgraded its price target on Palantir to $75. Now, with all of the future value baked in and the things that Dan Ives has said about Palantir, it very well does deserve a $75 price target, because right now the fair value on Palantir is about $35 to $40. When you start baking in future guidance, future growth, and the exponential growth they've already achieved year to date and in the last year going forward, it's no wonder it has a $75 buy rating. But on top of that, Palantir is also moving from the New York Stock Exchange over to the NASDAQ. And that's something I want to touch base on right now. I want to cover some news and talk about very similar things to what Dan Ives was saying. And I want to cover what's actually going on with the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange and why I think Palantir's made this shift to jump over. Palantir is also leaving the NYSE, which is the New York Stock Exchange, and going over to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ focuses more on tech, AI, and growth stocks, whereas the New York Stock Exchange is more stable stocks that are more well-known. So this is going to be a better exchange for Palantir, and it's going to help further their growth, and I think this was the right decision. But I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what the difference is between the two. American stocks are primarily traded on two major stock exchanges, the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, and the NASDAQ, each with its own characteristics and history. The NASDAQ is widely known for its association with the technology sector and is often seen as a more modern, fast-paced exchange featuring many of the world's leading tech giants, while the New York Stock Exchange has a long-standing reputation for being more traditional, often perceived as a stable, conservative marketplace. Both exchanges are central to the U.S. stock market, but the NASDAQ versus NYSE differ in listing standards, the types of companies they attract, and their trading mechanisms. The New York Stock Exchange, or NYSE, dates back to May 17, 1792. That day on the 24th, in New York City, stockbrokers and merchants signed the Buttonwood Agreement outside of 68 Wall Street and formed the exchange. The Buttonwood Agreement got its name after all parties signed it under a buttonwood tree. The exchange now trades about 1.46 billion shares a day. As a result, it's the leading stock exchange in the world. The New York Stock Exchange trades stocks for 2,800 companies, which range from blue chip to the new high-growth companies. However, each company listed on the New York Stock Exchange has to meet strict requirements. The New York Stock Exchange has a reputation of trading strong, high-quality securities and the requirements to help maintain that reputation. The major players on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange are specialists and brokers. Specialists and brokers create a system that provides investors with competitive prices based on supply and demand. Brokers are employed by investment firms and trade on behalf of their firm or their firm's clients. Brokers bring the buy and sell orders to the specialists. Specialists stay in one location on the floor and deal with one or several specific stocks depending on how much they trade. Those same specialists accept buy and sell orders from brokers and manage the actual auction. Specialists will also ensure there is a market for their specified stocks at all times. For example, if they have to, they will invest their own firm's capital to keep the market active and maintain the share's liquidity. The NASDAQ stands for the National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotations. It was created by the National Association of Security Details and opened on February 8, 1971, as the world's first electronic stock market. Today, it has more than 3,300 companies listings and is located in Times Square, New York City. As an electronic exchange, it has no physical trading floor. Consequently, no one has to be there in person to make trades. Instead, the NASDAQ exchange uses automated computer networks to make the trades. NASDAQ, a dealer market, which means brokers buy and sell stocks through market makers rather than from each other. Market makers deal in certain stocks and hold a certain number of stocks on their books. As a result, when brokers want to purchase shares, they can purchase them directly from a market maker. The NASDAQ carries out 1.8 billion trades per day, more than any other United States stock exchange. The NASDAQ trades stocks of a variety of companies. However, it's known as a high-tech exchange that trades many new, high-growth, and volatile stocks. So you can see now, at least to some degree, and understand why Palantir has moved over to the NASDAQ. But not only that, there's been a lot of big news on Palantir, and I want to cover some things and open up my chart and explain to you guys what's going on with the stock. You can see Palantir is up year to date 281%, 1 year 233%, the last 3 months 111%, and in 6 months 211%. This is incredible growth. If you guys had gotten into the stock back when I told you in May, June, or July, you would be printing ridiculous profits right now, and maybe you have taken those alerts and gotten in. If you missed out, it's still not too late. But if you didn't get in, I'm going to show you guys where to sell some puts, how to get into the stock, and dollar cost average, and not only that, how to sell maybe some put credit spreads or call credit spreads to offset some of the cost of getting into the stock. My 1 year price target on Palantir is really hard to say at this point, considering I thought they were going to hit about 50 to 55 by the end of the year, and they've already hit $64, $65. At this rate, things keep going the way they are. Interest rates keep getting cut. The Feds are still remaining dovish as they are right now. PMI data every month keeps improving or staying the same at least, and things keep going the way they are right now. Palantir could see $80 to $100 by this time next year, maybe sooner. There is so much upgrowth and potential in Palantir. I would really hate for anybody to miss out on this stock now because it's nowhere near its potential. And I told all of you guys 4 months ago, 5 months ago, that this stock will eventually get to a 500 billion market cap, and then 750 billion would follow shortly after, and $1 trillion would only be 3 to 5 years out, depending on the growth of the stock and the company's annual returns and quarter-over-quarter growth. I gave you guys this piece of tidbit information about 4 months ago when Palantir had a 50 to 60 billion market cap. And as you can see right now, they have 147 billion market cap. So it is likely Palantir could hit 250 billion by early spring at the latest. This is incredible growth and signifies that the stock could very well hit $100 to $110 by spring, maybe even summer, depending on how things go. Some more news on Palantir is Wedbush Securities raised its price target from 57 to 75, reiterating an outperform recommendation. This move comes as analysts grow confident in the company's expanding presence in emerging field of artificial intelligence and its success in securing government contracts. Despite recent gains, analysts remained divided. Firms like Mizuho and Royal Bank of Canada have adopted more cautious tones, even as others, such as Bank of America, have raised their price targets to $75 as well. The stock currently holds a hold rating with an average price target of $35.64. They must be out of their mind. $35 and a hold rating? Yeah, that's definitely not right. Other achievements underscore the company's momentum, including a $178 million U.S. Army contract for the AI-driven Titan project signed in October. This aligns with growing market interest in AI-centric defense and enterprise solutions, reinforcing Palantir's robust market position. In my opinion, this is a great stock to still get into. Let me show you where I would sell puts, just give you guys a general idea, because this is going to be the next Oracle / NVIDIA, but the software version. This really is the alpha male in the room, the Messi of all stocks that are AI software. Palantir is leading charge, and this is where I would put my money long term. SoundHound, SoFi, very good stocks for growth, but Palantir, even though it's made a lot of its move already, there's still, in my opinion, a lot more on the table in the coming years. Before I show you guys how to get into Palantir, where I would enter, and the strategies I would use using Fidelity and Robinhood, if you guys are having trouble in the market, maybe you want to retire early, take control of your financial freedom, live a better life, I'm driven every day to help others just like you achieve those goals. I offer a full training course, Discord, and one-on-one coaching. You guys can join with the link in the information box below, investwithcorey.com. I would love to help you. I grew up in a Catholic household. My parents were hard on me to do the right thing and help others. I have students that have taken their $8,000 portfolios to $30,000 in 4 months. Others that have went from $30,000 to $80,000 in 3 or 4 months. And I have students that have went from $300K to $600K, doubling their portfolio in just over 4.5 months. You can see the profits on the screen, but if you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Let's hear what my students Josh and Adam had to say. What stood out to you the most when you originally signed up for the Discord and the coaching, really gave you the incentive to want to join? And do you still feel the same way now? And what would your message be to others that are, in the same situation?
You were more focused on like the actual strategy of things as opposed to, pushing a particular stock or trying to almost trick people into how they can get rich. I'm also a masterclass student as well. And that's where I really took things to the next level. For anyone who's thinking about joining, is anyone can do this. It's just really putting in the work and the effort to meet Corey halfway, but he will definitely get you there. I started with about $300,000 portfolio. Initially saw about between 60 and 70,000 within my first 6 weeks, which I was very excited about. So now I'm really, really excited to share that I've grown that $300,000 portfolio to well over 500,000. I'm definitely reaping the rewards now. Don't wait. I honestly can't thank Corey enough.
In just a short amount of time, the program that you offer, I've learned so much, and I've changed my entire approach to investing. I'm much more structured, much more safe, and I've seen consistent, profitable growth. I've seen the growth, and it's almost unbelievable. In a market that we're in now, I was still able to consistently grow because you're so, methodical and structured, and you care about each student. I'm here to say it how it is, right? I've made consistent growth. So I started with 15,000, right? I am now at $40,000. Okay. And I'm so proud. It feels, amazing to be able to share this, because I know that there's so many people that will do the same, right? You have to just trust Corey and trust what he's teaching and what he's offering, because he means so well.
So you heard what my students Josh and Adam had to say. I would love to help you achieve the same success and goals that they did. You guys can sign up at any time. Like I said, links in the information box below, investwithcorey.com. And I look forward to helping you when you're ready to join. If you're looking to get into Palantir, it's looking like there's a little bit of a floor right here at 57 and 54. Unlikely it's going to pull back there, but it could when they move over to the NASDAQ. Anything's possible, but it's likely to dip down around $60, right around 59 or 60. What I would do is start selling $60 puts a week out. That's what I would do to dollar cost average. If you guys are on Robinhood, it's very easy. We go to options here to 29th of this week, click sell put. Then we'll go ahead and click on 60 or $61 put. A 61 put, 16 delta, $34. 60 put is 11 delta and it's $22. So they're both very safe. Personally, with the bullish momentum, you probably could sell a 22 delta at 62 going out this week and make $50. So I would do a 62 or a 61 to be safe. Start racking up that premium and then just click sell put, continue, collect your premium. If you guys are using Fidelity, it's just as easy. We're going to go into the options chain for this week, November 29th, and we're going to click on just put so we can see an easier list that's populated. We're going to go down here to $62 and you can see again, it's $50. Click on sell. Very similar to running the strategy on Robinhood. It's pretty much the same thing. And there we go. There's our put. And we'll just click on preview order and we'll sell this cash secured put for maybe $52. And it shows you right there, preview order. And there we have our order. Now, if we want to do a put credit spread, then we can go ahead on Robinhood and we can buy a $57 put. Gives us a $500 spread, $44. Click on 62. We'll click on sell. Then we will go ahead, click on quantity 1. We'll add a leg, quantity 1. We're going to buy to open a put, and then we're going to go down to 57, the exact same way we did this on Robinhood, 57. But for whatever reason, it doesn't want to load, so I have to, there we go. It's just taken forever to load. We'll click on 57 right there, buy to open, sell to open. We're going to go with the midpoint of 44 margin. There we go. See, 44, 456, 44, 456. It's the exact same thing if you do it on Fidelity. Click preview order. There we go. It'll give you a warning about day trading, which is normal. And then it shows all the leg information right there. You can also click on 62, click sell, click on 57, little check marker arrow here and click buy. And it sets this up for you already and gives you your estimated gain and profit. Then you can manually just add in the midpoint and it's the exact same as it was a minute ago, 44, 456. Gives you the probability of profit the same as it does on Robinhood. All of this is ready to go and we can just hit enter and, you know, go through and make this trade if we wanted. If you're on Fidelity's Trader Pro, it's pretty much the exact same thing. We go over to Palantir, click enter. We will go to the puts and we'll scroll down to a $62 put and we'll click on that right here. Click on sell to open, quantity 1, and then we'll sell that put. So it's pretty much the same thing whether we're on the Active Trader Pro or we are over on the website. It's the same as Robinhood, but I left Robinhood. So I just want to show you guys how to make that trade. That's what I would do. I would start selling puts and dollar cost averaging to get into Palantir. Palantir is a great stock and right now is still in a great position for a lot of growth going forward. I would sell puts, dollar cost average, buy shares slowly, buy the dip if the price does dip over time, which it could going over to the NASDAQ and depending on how the market reacts over the next couple of months. But all in all, Palantir is a behemoth of an AI stock and I think it's just going to get bigger and better and grow faster going forward, exponential growth. Just like Dan Ives said, it's been doing so well in 2024 that it's pretty much outpaced all stocks with the exception of Nvidia and SoundHound. But even though those other two stocks have done a very good job in their growth, Palantir has still pretty much outpaced the both of them as well. This has been the #1 stock of the year and rightfully so with all their contracts. So I would look to start entering before it's too late. It's already made a lot of moves this year and there's still a lot more to come. So don't hesitate. Start dollar cost averaging. That's my opinion. I think you guys should really start looking to get into Palantir as it is a great stock and hold this stock long term because in 3 to 5 years, it'll be higher than it is now. Thanks so much guys for being here. Really appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next upload. Don't forget guys, you can sign up for my Discord training course and coaching anytime. investorcorey.com. Links in the information box below. I would love to help you fam and I will see you on the next upload. Take care of yourselves.